Hello! Welcome to episode 2 of my Naked Stories. I'm so glad I'm doing this because one thing I want to do this year is stay consistent, and I have to admit these videos are hard to shoot sometimes because I have so much stuff to do, and this is I have to add this to it. Anyways, I'm really happy to be doing it because I really enjoy all the research I have to do and all the things I learn reading these stories and trying to answer some questions and just trying to learn more about something. Anyways, because we have a very short amount of time, we will get right to it. Last week I told you guys, I read you guys a story about this person who had questions about Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and they asked some questions and I did some research. It's not conclusive, but here's what I came up with. So I'm just gonna remind you guys. So they were asking why Daniel was referred to by his Hebrew name and his friends Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were called by their Babylonian names. And from all the research I did, I think it was just an issue of so they came into Babylon as slaves, and they obviously changed their name to, I guess, remind them of defeat. That I read that somewhere where they're like, the Babylonians changed their names to kind of be like, we've defeated you and you're gonna go by our names type of thing. And I think it was just it just stuck, because even Daniel eventually got referred to by Belteshazzar. I can't pronounce that, sorry. I would probably spell it in the description box for anyone who cares to see what that is. But anyways, I did a little brief looking around on that, and that's what I came up with. So it was actually really good reading that, because it reminded me of how those guys, Daniel and his friends, they set themselves apart and they moved from being slaves captured into another kingdom to being like executives and powerful people in the kingdom they were supposed to be captives in. And it's a really inspiring story, and if you have the time, you should read the book of Daniel. It's a really cool book to read. Okay, today's business. I have another story-ish to read, and I'm going to just jump right to it. And I really I like this one because it's very vulnerable. It personally captures something relatable. Yeah. So I'm just gonna go ahead and read it now. It actually starts with this. So I'm supposed to journal, and I'm not really sure I know how. Well, here goes. For my stresses, my spirit bears witness that God is able and willing to settle every fear I have about my life and my future. The problem is, unlike what Jesus said, do not be anxious for anything, but in everything, with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God. I find myself being anxious and wanting those blessings to come now, when I want it. But I forget that God has purpose in everything, and that I should indeed be obedient to that scripture. And rather than bother about my cares, I should maintain a grateful heart, reminiscing on the marvelous things God has done and is doing for me, receiving strength from those testimonies, and wait actively in anticipation of the things He is set to do. When I make requests known to God, I should do it with a grateful heart, knowing that if God stopped blessing me today, I still owe Him big time. That is a truth I find very difficult to accept, that God doesn't owe me anything, yet He has freely given me everything. I think knowing and understanding this truth will go a long way in making my heart grateful. So that's the end of that. And I really, really like that, because it's so true. Personally, it's really hard for me to sometimes be just be grateful and say, God, here's all you've done for me. I don't deserve it. I don't need to earn it. I have this desire to just want to earn stuff and feel like, oh, I worked hard for it. I should get this. But that's not always, that's almost never how it works actually. Because the very breath in our lungs, there's nothing we can do to earn it if you think about it. Like, how many hours do you think you can work, or what kind of job do you think you'll do to buy your oxygen, to sustain you through the typical lifespan of an average person? Yeah, it's really, I like this one because it really calls to our attention that the fact that everyone or different people kind of relate to the same thing. So yeah, a bunch of us feel these things and we think, oh, it's just me, I'm the only one feeling this way. I feel like, why am I so ungrateful? Why am I like this? Why can't I just accept God's grace? But it's kind of a recurring problem. Most of my friends I've talked to who are believers always tell me the same thing. Accepting God's grace is really hard sometimes, but I'm just gonna end with this. And it might sound cliche, but it really is the truth. There is nothing we can do to earn God's love for us. And the response, actually, I think that will make God happy is to just accept that our dad has given us this free gift. And we know that we don't deserve it, and we should just be really grateful for it. We should just live in it. We should just utilize the gift that he's given us to the best of our abilities and just make him proud with that, you know? Not try to like repay him like, hey God, I know that you came through for me when I needed you. I'm gonna work really hard to make sure I pay you back for your blood, for your grace, for your mercy. Like, no. So yeah, I like this one. Anyways, episode 2 of my naked stories is officially done. I will see you next week by God's grace with the 3rd story. I'm so excited. Pray for me, guys. I gotta keep this going. Bye.